So Labour claims they're the party of women's rights, the party that stands up for half the population, the guardians of equality, the champions of fairness. Except there's one tiny problem. They can't even tell you what a woman is. And if you can't define something, how on earth can you protect it? It's like being a lifeguard who can't swim, a chef who doesn't know what food is, a sat-nav that's never heard of roads. So today, we're diving into 5 absolutely sinister ways Labour has betrayed women. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see the party's feminist credentials for what they really are: complete and utter fiction. I'm your host at UK Political Insight, and we post videos throughout the day keeping you updated on the chaos unfolding in Westminster. So stick around because this one's going to get spicy. Let's start with the most basic question a party supposedly championing women's rights should be able to answer. What is a woman? Sounds simple, doesn't it? Your nan could answer it. Your 5-year-old nephew could probably have a crack at it. But apparently, it's an absolute brain buster for the Labour leadership. During the general election campaign, Keir Starmer, the man with the legal background he won't stop banging on about, couldn't define what a woman was. Neither could Rachel Reeves, Angela Rayner, Yvette Cooper, or Bridget Phillipson. These are the top women in Labour, the supposed feminist icons, and they stood there like contestants on a quiz show who've just been asked to explain quantum physics. The only person with the backbone to state the obvious was Rosie Duffield, the then Labour MP for Canterbury. She said what everyone with functioning brain cells already knows: a man cannot be a woman. Biological sex matters. Revolutionary stuff, really. Groundbreaking. And for this act of stating reality, she was hounded out of the party. She's now sitting as an independent because Labour couldn't handle someone speaking common sense. Now here's where it gets even more ridiculous. The Supreme Court, in April, ruled that the terms women and sex refer to biological sex, not acquired gender. This isn't some fringe opinion from a random blogger. This is the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court. You'd think a party led by someone who loves to remind us he used to be director of public prosecutions would respect a Supreme Court ruling, wouldn't you? But no, Labour's Equality Minister, Bridget Phillipson, is apparently using that ruling as a coaster for her morning coffee because she's doing absolutely nothing to implement it. It's gathering dust on her desk, while women across the country are left wondering why their rights are being ignored by the very people who claim to protect them. But wait, it gets darker. Much darker, because Labour's betrayal of women isn't just about definitions and court rulings gathering cobwebs. It's about justice denied to thousands of vulnerable girls. We're talking about the grooming gang scandal, one of the most horrific failures in modern British history. Thousands of predominantly white, working-class girls were systematically groomed, abused, and raped by gangs of men, mostly of Pakistani origin. And what has Labour done about it? Absolutely nothing. Crickets. Tumbleweed. Deafening silence. Back in June, Baroness Casey told Starmer directly that a national inquiry into these rape gangs was desperately needed. She laid it out clearly: the scale of the abuse, the failures of authorities, the need for accountability. And what did Starmer do? He ignored her. He's too busy pandering to certain voting blocs to actually stand up for the victims. It's painfully obvious that Labour is more interested in protecting its electoral prospects than protecting vulnerable girls. They've prioritized political convenience over the screams of thousands of victims who are still waiting for justice. And that's not just a betrayal of women, that's a betrayal of basic human decency. When a political party chooses votes over victims, you know something has gone catastrophically wrong. Labour would rather sweep this under the carpet than risk upsetting anyone who might vote for them. It's cowardice, dressed up as politics. Now here's where it gets even more ridiculous: the Pink Ladies of Epping, because this story perfectly encapsulates Labour's upside-down priorities. These women, ordinary moms and residents, have been raising legitimate concerns about the safety of their children as more and more illegal, unvetted male immigrants are housed in their local area. They're not professional activists, they're not politicians, they're just women who care about their community and want to know who's being placed on their doorstep without proper checks. Reasonable, right? Well, not according to Labour. Instead of listening to their concerns, Labour has done what it does best: smear and silence. They've been branded as far right. Because, apparently, caring about children's safety now makes you an extremist. It's absolutely bonkers. And why won't Labour listen to these women? Because Starmer and his government are more interested in protecting the European Convention on Human Rights and Tony Blair's Human Rights Act than they are in protecting British women and girls. The rights of illegal immigrants trump the rights of British citizens in Labour's twisted hierarchy of priorities. It's like they've sat down and decided that the safety of women and children comes second to their ideological commitments and international treaties. These women aren't asking for anything unreasonable. They're asking for transparency, for vetting, for basic safeguarding measures. But Labour would rather call them names than address their concerns. It's shameful, and it shows you exactly where women rank in Labour's list of priorities. Spoiler alert, not very high. Then we come to the sentencing bill, currently making its way through the House of Commons. And this is where things go from bad to genuinely terrifying. Under this new bill, crimes that would previously have resulted in prison sentences up to 12 months will now result in no prison time at all. Let that sink in for a moment. No prison time. And what kind of crimes are we talking about here? Coercion, domestic abuse, stalking. These are crimes overwhelmingly committed against women, and Labour's response is to give perpetrators a slap on the wrist. It's a sick joke. Women who've been terrorized, controlled, and abused will now have to live with the knowledge that their abusers won't face serious consequences. It sends a crystal clear message to women. Your safety doesn't matter. Your trauma doesn't matter. The crimes committed against you aren't serious enough to warrant real punishment. And just to hammer home how dangerous this bill is, let's talk about Hadush Kabadu. He's an illegal immigrant and a sex offender who managed to walk out of prison. Under this new sentencing bill, he wouldn't even have seen the inside of a prison cell in the first place. Let that rattle around your brain for a second. A sex offender, someone who poses a direct threat to women, wouldn't be imprisoned under the Labour's new system. If that doesn't make your blood boil, I don't know what will. This bill is a green light for abusers. It tells them they can get away with it. And the victims? They're left to pick up the pieces while Labour pats themselves on the back for being progressive. And if you thought that was the end of Labour's assault on women's safety and justice, buckle up, because David Lammy has entered the chat. Lammy, or as some people are calling him, Lammy Dodger, is now pushing to abolish half of all jury trials. His excuse? He claims it'll be better for rape cases. Now, on the surface, you might think, well, maybe he's got a point. But here's the thing. If the problem is that courts are overloaded and rape cases are taking too long, the solution is blindingly obvious. Open the courts for more hours, hire more judges, increase capacity. But no, Labour's answer is to dismantle 800 years of British justice by scrapping jury trials. It's like your car breaking down and instead of fixing the engine, you just set the whole thing on fire. Jury trials are one of the cornerstones of our legal system. They ensure that ordinary people have a say in whether someone is guilty or innocent. They're a protection against state overreach and judicial bias. And Labour wants to bin them. For what? Political expediency? The illusion of doing something? It's not about helping victims of sexual assault. If it were, they'd be investing in the courts, speeding up processes, ensuring victims get justice swiftly. But that takes effort, resources, and actual commitment. So instead, they're trashing centuries of legal tradition and calling it progress. It's an insult to victims and an insult to the justice system. So let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. Labour loves to lecture everyone about equality, about standing up for the marginalized, about being on the right side of history. But when it comes to women, their actions tell a completely different story. They can't define what a woman is. They ignore Supreme Court rulings. They deny justice to grooming gang victims. They smear women who raise safety concerns. They soften sentences for crimes against women. And they're trying to dismantle jury trials under the guise of helping rape victims. If this is what Labour looks like when they claim to support women, I'd hate to see what it looks like when they're actively working against them. Oh wait, this is what that looks like. It's not just hypocrisy. It's something much more sinister. It's a calculated prioritization of ideology, electoral strategy, and political convenience over the rights, safety, and dignity of women. Labour has made a choice. They've chosen pandering over principle. They've chosen votes over victims. They've chosen silence over speaking up. And women across the country are paying the price. The mask has well and truly slipped. The party that claims to champion women's rights can't even protect the most basic rights of all. The right to be safe, the right to be heard, the right to justice, the right to be recognized as a woman in the first place. Baroness Faulkner, the outgoing chair of the Equality and Human Rights Commission, said it best. Labour has completely abandoned women's rights. And she's absolutely right. The evidence is overwhelming, undeniable, and frankly damning. Labour doesn't serve women.
Labour serves itself, and it's about time everyone woke up to that reality. So here's the thing. We're going to keep shining a light on this. We're going to keep holding Labour accountable. We're going to keep asking the questions they don't want to answer. Because at UK Political Insight, we don't let politicians get away with hypocrisy, lies, or betrayal. And neither should you. If this video opened your eyes or made you think, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe because we're posting multiple videos every single day, keeping you updated on every twist, turn, and betrayal coming out of Westminster. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Are Labour beyond redemption when it comes to women's rights, or is there any hope left? I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed, and don't let them gaslight you. This is UK Political Insight, signing off.